This is a small family-run workshop in Nigeria that specializes in casting aluminum pots. The workers melt recycled aluminum and pour it into molds to make the pots. The catch? The worker is wearing flip-flops, so he has to constantly keep an eye on the molten aluminum, ready to dodge it to avoid burning his feet. What's interesting is that this worker isn't just an employee, he's actually the boss of the workshop. The two guys next to him may seem busy, but they're just hired hands. When the boss starts working, the helpers are sent away. That's because he wants to keep the core techniques of casting the pots in his own hands. This process of turning scrap aluminum into low-cost cookware is a perfect fit for local communities with limited resources. Many families who couldn't afford cooking equipment before can now use these aluminum pots for cooking. This casting technique is called sand casting, where the molds are made from sand. While the quality of the cast items can be inconsistent and the precision isn't great, the big advantage is that it's quick to produce and cheap to making it ideal for this local production model. What do you think about this unique approach to manufacturing? Let me know in the comments. This is a small boatyard in Brazil. The workers are using a machine to shred something that looks like a rope and spray it onto the surface of a boat. But this rope isn't ordinary. It's actually fiberglass. Fiberglass is an inorganic, non-metallic material made by melting stone and drawing it into ultra-fine threads. A single strand of fiberglass can be up to 20 times thinner than a human hair. But despite its size, it comes with big advantages. It's highly resistant to corrosion, has great insulation properties, and offers impressive mechanical strength. That's why it's widely used across many industries. At this boatyard, they crush the fiberglass and spray it over the boat's hull and body. Combined with epoxy resin, it makes the boat tougher and more corrosion resistant. However, because fiberglass is so fine, it has one major downside. It can easily get into human skin, or even the body, causing itching and a stinging sensation. So whenever this material is used, proper protective gear is a must. If you rub it with your bare hands, it's just as dangerous as grabbing a cactus. Shipbuilders are hammering nails into the hull, and they're using way more nails than you'd expect. So here's the question: why does building a wooden ship need so many nails? There's even an old saying, a broken ship still holds 3,000 nails. It means even a wrecked ship still relies on its nails to stay together. Traditional wooden ships have a very complex frame. It includes the keel, ribs, stringers, and more. All of these parts need tons of nails to hold everything tightly in place. Also, in hydrodynamics, the smoother the surface, the less drag in water. So to keep the hull as smooth as possible and make the ship glide better, craftsmen would drive a nail every 4 inches. That helps lock the parts together, seal up gaps, and prevent leaks. But over time, metal nails rust and corrode. That's why some old boats used wooden pegs instead. They last longer and are better for the long run. Today's ships are made of steel, and nails have been replaced by welding. But no matter how the materials change, the spirit of craftsmanship, building a ship by hand, is still alive in shipyards like this, passed down through generations. This is India, where workers are handcrafting cricket balls. The outer layer of the cricket ball is made from high-quality leather, which is carefully cut into perfect circles. Then, artisans hand-stitch the pieces together with incredible precision, ensuring the ball's durability and strength. Every stitch counts to make sure the ball is solid and long-lasting. Inside, glue is applied to attach the leather, and a machine is used to press it into place, ensuring a balanced distribution. This technique guarantees the ball flies through the air with a perfect trajectory during play. Finally, the leather is polished and dyed, giving the ball its vibrant red or white color. Not only does this make it look more appealing, but it also makes it easier to spot during the game. Look, this is a completed handcrafted cricket ball. Do you like the feel of this type of craftsmanship? Let me know in the comments. And next time we can check out more fun DIY projects. Don't forget to like and share. See you in the next one. This is India, where workers are handcrafting tennis balls. These colorful pieces of rubber you see, they're the raw materials used to make the inner core of the ball. The rubber is placed between metal rollers, and as the rollers spin, they press, stretch, and fold the material over and over to mix everything evenly. Once the rubber is ready, it's cut into equal pieces and placed into molds. With heat and pressure, each piece becomes a perfect half shell. 2 halves are then pressed together to form a complete sphere. To make sure the core holds during the next vulcanizing step, glue is applied along the edges. After vulcanization, the balls are dropped into a cleaning machine. Once clean, each ball gets a fresh coat of glue on the surface. Then comes the felt strips are wrapped around the ball in a 55-degree spiral. This crisscross pattern helps the ball stay balanced and durable. Next, yarn is added to the seams to create that signature tennis ball line. To lock the felt onto the core, the ball is vulcanized again under high heat. Finally, workers trim off any loose fibers by hand. And there you have it, a finished tennis ball. Pretty amazing craftsmanship, don't you think? This small workshop in India specializes in making crocks. Workers pour carefully measured cups of EV, a material, into molds. After a few seconds of high-temperature heating, the molds produce affordable, high-quality shoes. To ensure consistency, the materials are precisely weighed. A mold release spray is applied to prevent sticking. Once poured, the molds are closed and the machine applies heat and pressure. The EVA expands to fill the mold, forming the shoe's shape. A foot mold is inserted to prevent collapse during cooling. After cooling, pairs are tied together to avoid mismatches. Excess material is trimmed to ensure comfort. A heel strap is added and snapped into place to keep the Crocs secure. Finally, cartoon stickers are added for personality and color. These colorful granules are EVA, the raw material. Lightweight, elastic, and low density, EVA is ideal for Crocs. This fast, simple, and low-cost process suits local production well. What do you think of this method? Let me know in the comments. This is Ireland. What the workers are digging up is a type of mud that can actually burn. Locally, this mud is a primary source of heating fuel during the winter. You might be wondering, how can mud burn? In fact, this isn't just any mud. It's a material called peat, which is an intermediate product in the coal formation process. Peat forms when plant remains decompose slowly in wetland environments over a long period of time, turning into an organic substance. That's why peat is usually found in swamps or wetlands. Locals dig it up when the weather is dry and sunny, let it dry out, and then store it for later use as heating fuel once the cold weather hits. Ireland has abundant peat resources. Peat bogs make up about 16% of the country's land area, which is roughly 10,000 square miles. In some places, peat layers can reach over 30 feet deep. Because of this, peat has also been used as a fuel for power generation in Ireland. Beyond being an energy source, peat is also a high-quality organic fertilizer. Thanks to its rich organic content, it's widely used in agriculture and flower cultivation as well. In this type of manual coal mining process, miners have to crouch inside narrow tunnels using a pickaxe to break apart the coal seams. Coal is then transported out of the mine using donkeys or other tools. Inside these hand-dug tunnels, miners also use wooden sticks as support structures. But can a few small wooden sticks really prevent a cave-in? In fact, these sticks are mainly used to stop pieces of coal from falling. That's because coal seams that can be mined manually are usually very loose. Some layers can even be broken off by hand. As a result, once the coal is removed, the structure above and around the tunnel becomes even more unstable. Wooden sticks and planks are used to create temporary support frames to stabilize the rock layers and prevent collapses. Judging by how loose the coal layer above the support structure is, you can see that without those wooden supports, such a thick layer of coal falling could easily block the entire entrance. For larger mining tunnels, workers also use metal mesh structures along the tunnel walls to reduce the risk of rock falling.